Okay, there we go. All right, Slakia. I was figuring out what was going on with the sound because I couldn't hear myself, but I think I got it now. Yep. Okay. Come on. All right, Slakia Akim. I was able to get it figured out, but of course, before I begin this live stream, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and I'm also as well double honors to the apostles and the others of Great Millstone. They continue to rule very well to this very day. That's continually feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And also as well, shalom to the hopefully elect that's continue to labor in his work, and also labor to show forth your diligence to make your calling and election sure, in faith, in truth and sincerity, and also in all charity. Now, this is going to be, like the title says, going to be various topics, going to current events, what's taking place today, and how this all lines up with prophecy, and also as well, Salakia. I thought I was streaming yesterday, but for some reason, uh, I don't know, something's going haywire with the stream. Like whenever I try to broadcast, it tells me that there was an error every time I try to do it. But and there was also sound issues as well when I tried to do it. So Slacky, I'm able to get the stream up and going now. All right. Yep. So we'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, there's various topics. Like I said, things that's going on around the world. It's a telltale sign that the times that we're in right now is getting even more critical. All right. Why? Because this next coming war is going to be the war to end all wars. All right. And we know this because the previous wars, right? World War One and World War Two already passed. Okay. And it tells you that in the scriptures that the first and the second war passed. Okay. And now we're coming into the third woe. All right. Which that word woe, when you look it up, it means destruction. All right. But that woe, or the third woe, represents the next war. All right. World War Three. Okay. And the Lord has chosen this time, the day, all right, to amplify the fires of war. Because as the days continue, the war drums continue to beat even more harder and harder. Okay. And that's why now the ones that are in the military, or the ones that are in high seat in the military, they see that this is going to turn out to be the worst case scenario. Why? Because there's nuclear weapons involved. All right. And they know that through those nuclear weapons, they can use them at any point. All right. That's why America really hasn't done anything major except for sanctions, man. And that's all really they can do. All right. It's sanctions. Now, if they try to do anything else other than that, of course, Russia and China are going to respond. Okay. And they're allies. All right. And guess what? And that's going to cause America and its allies to get into the fray. All right. So, this is what it's leading towards, man. The signs are on the wall, or the writings on the wall, should I say, that we are very close to going into war. All right. And like I said, through this next war that's coming, all right, this war is going to be the war to end all wars, man. All right. Through this is going to come the destruction of this place. All right. Which is America. And America is indeed recorded within the Bible. All right. It's recorded and is written as Babylon the Great. All right. When the scriptures speak about Babylon, it's talking about here because this place is littered with confusion. That's why when you look at the word Babylon, it goes to the Hebrew word Babal, which means confusion. All right. And this place, America, is honed in on confusion at its highest level, man. And you see that because you see the minds of the people are warped. All right. And also due to that, they don't know what's going on as far as what's taking place in the Ukraine, because right now there's a media blackout on what's really going on. That's why when you try to go to RT News, all right, you're not able to access it at all. All right. You can't even access the app, the RT app, because I got the app on my phone, and whenever I try to go to it, it's just blank. It doesn't show any news or nothing. You know, why? Again, because it's a media blackout. They don't want you to know what's really going on. All right, because they're painting Russia in a negative light, and that's how it always been in the past previous wars. During the time of World War II, I'll give you an example. Whenever they show any sort of like cartoons, anything like that, case in point, there was one episode or one show with Donald Duck, and they were showing him, basically putting bombs together, you know, and they were making fun of Germany in that cartoon, and I really all the cartoons during that time, was basically painting, Germany in a negative light. So, same thing today, man. Of course, America is gonna paint Russia in a negative light, and guess what? Russia's gonna do the same. They're gonna paint America in a negative light. All right. So, and guess what? Eventually, it escalates. All right, it escalates into a conflict, and that conflict turns into a battle, and that battle turns into a war. All right. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go into this article here. Like I said, this article is entitled. It's from CNBC. It's from Could There Be War Between Russia and the West? Strategists predict what could happen next. Right, these are war strategists that's predicting what could happen next. Now, will this indeed happen with the war between Russia and the West? Yes, indeed, it will be. All right, how do we know that? Well, it says in the book. Okay, I got a few scriptures lined up here. I'm gonna get into them here in a little bit. Um, it says, I'm gonna read a little bit of this intro. It says the saber rattling and rhetoric between Moscow and the West have become notably more aggressive this week, prompting concerns that a direct confrontation between the two power blocs could be more likely. Yeah, that's true. All right, there's going to be a confrontation between these two powers. All right, because America is a superpower and Russia is a superpower. All right, and it says further on. It says in the last few days alone, for example, Russia stopped gas supplies to two European countries and has warned the West several times that the risk of a nuclear war is very real. See that? So the risk of nuclear war is real, man. Why? Because I told you, like I said earlier at the beginning of the stream, is that Russia, now when it comes to this next coming war or this conflict, what's taking place, and the reason why America hasn't done anything major as of late is because they know that they have nuclear weapons. They know that they have thermonuclear missiles. All right, that's why Russia is making a statement that the outcome of a nuclear war is real. All right, it says in addition, Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that any foreign intervention in Ukraine would provoke what he called a lightning fast response from Moscow, while his foreign ministry warned NATO not to test his patience. All right, let's see, you got these two powers going back and forth, man. All right, yeah, but like I was saying, that any intervention in the Ukraine, like so, that's why you know, again, when it comes to Ukraine, America, they try to shoot, certain responses or do certain sanctions or try to cripple them economically. But Russia's not stunned that, man. All right, they're not folding to what America is trying to dish out to it. Okay, and also as well, like I said, if there was any sort of response from the West or from America or any of its allies in Ukraine, then guess what? That's gonna spark, like I said, it's gonna spark the next stage of this next coming war. Okay, in which the two powers are gonna go at each other. All right. It says, for their part, Western officials have dismissed Russia's bravado and dangerous nuclear war rhetoric, and that's that pride. Okay, that's that same American pride that's been here for ages. That America is the most fierce military force out there, in which there were during the time it was. All right, during the time it was a a military force to be reckoned with. All right, but now guess what? Everybody's got the bomb now. Everybody's got the gun. Okay, and they can't hide behind their nuclear weapons anymore. They can't hide behind their missiles, because why? Because everybody has a missile now. Russia has the missiles. Iran. Okay, China, even China. All right, all these nations are gearing up their weaponry and their arsenal. All right, and America is like, all right, whatever. You know why? Because America has been has been winning for years and years on end. But guess what? Now it's time for America to lose. All right, and it's no different, because that's that same bravado, that pride that resided here, or that resided in the known world back in the ancient world during the time of the Roman Empire. Okay, because during the Roman Empire, guess what? That's was one of the things, a couple of the things that crippled the Roman Empire and how it fell. Okay, the way that it fell was one of the things that the military, first and foremost, the military is spread too thin. All right, and then on top of that, you had decadence. All right, basically, when I say decadence, I mean basically being in a lofty mentality, or the lofty spirit. You know, and that's why the military was defeated, and that's why America's military is going to be defeated for those same reasons. America is going out the same way that the Roman Empire did. That's why the scriptures speak about this place um, being regarded as the deadly wound that was healed. All right, speaking about the beast. Okay, in Revelations. All right, so continuing on. All right, it says let me slack you, making sure I'm still good. But like it says here, it says I think I'm gonna go right here. The nuclear attack with a question mark. All right, it says at the start of the week, Russia's foreign ministry warned that the threat of a nuclear war cannot be underestimated, and said NATO's supply of weapons to Ukraine was tantamount to the military alliance engaging in a proxy war with Russia. All right. So it says that this new nuclear war cannot be underestimated. All right. And like I said, you know, this earlier paragraph, right? It says the officials dismissed Russia's bravado in nuclear war rhetoric. All right. And still they're dismissing it. And look, it's saying, and they're warning America that, look, you know, you don't want this smoke. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. So they're in a spat between one another. But um, let me hop into the precepts real quick, and I'm gonna go back to the article. But I actually want to get the scripture where it speaks about the deadly wound that was healed. Let's see if I can get it. Says spoke about that. All right, so it's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and there's at verse 2. It says, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, in his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him its power and his seat and great authority." All right, and so this beast, just go into it real quick. This beast, that the beast which was like unto a leopard, that leopard represents Esau, Edom, right? And that was the start. That was during the time of the start of the Greek Empire. All right, Alexander. Okay, 'cause their symbol, the symbol that they used during that time was the leopard. All right, but it says here, it says the beast was like unto a leopard, right, which represents Esau, Edom, and it says the feet was the feet of a bear. Okay, so that the feet, basically, when you go into the feet, all right, that means that you're at the end of something. All right, because the feet is at the ending of the body. All right, So the reason why it says it has the feet of a bear is because this same bear was going to be the end of this beast. All right, and that bear, in which you go into the bear, the ones who use the symbol of the bear is Russia. All right. So again, it says, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Right. So this is this line of Esau. All right. That's given his power, but really the dragon again, it goes into also goes into Esau, right? About the dragon, but when you go into the leopard, right? Like I said earlier, they're going to into the Greek Empire with Alexander the Greek. All right, and the system that you see today, which is this American system, is based off of the system of the Greeks and the Romans. Okay, and that's why again, if you keep reading, right, verse 3, it says, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast." See that? So one of the heads that were wounded to death, all right, it was healed. All right. And how was that deadly that head that was wounded to death? How was it healed? It was healed during the erecting of America. That's how it was healed. Okay. Because the head that was bruised, right? Actually, I believe it's another precept that actually says that. Slack. Let me see if I can find it. Should be in another one. I don't remember the exact wording. All right, Slakia. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep reading here a little bit. I'm gonna skip around. So I'm gonna start from the top at verse 3 again. It says, "And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast." Okay, and it says, "And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" Right, and that's why I was saying earlier is that that's the reason why they're making remarks like this, saying that they dismissed, or slacking, not remarks, but it's that's the reason why America has dismissed, Russia's Russia's statements about nuclear weapons, about the nuclear missiles, with the arsenal that they have. All right, and putting it off as a joke, saying, that's nothing. But meanwhile, America can't even shoot down a missile at top speed. And when they were testing their anti missile defense system, all right, they couldn't even take down one missile at full speed. They had to slow it down in order to hit it. But yeah, here it is. America wants to say that they want to brush off that Russia, doesn't have the nuke. All right, and which they do. All right, multiple nukes. If you want to put a number on it, is 200,000, which is 200 million. All right. So let's see, Slakia. Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, pursuant to verse 4, is that that's the reason why they're dismissing, Russia's bravado and dangerous nuclear war rhetoric, like it says here. All right. That's the scripture, basically saying that who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him. All right. So in other words, like, who was able to make war with America? And that's what the mentality of these people are. All right. And I believe I spoke on it before about this occurrence that I had with this Jake when I was talking to him. He was toting the military might of America and how the American military can never go down, which he was just a simple Jake. Of course he's drinking that Babylon tea. you know. But yeah, Shabbat Shalom, 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 to the people that are watching. Shalom, Yahweh Shemel Shai Barakathum. But yeah, like it says here, actually, I'm gonna continue reading. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna skip down. Slacky. Should be like I was looking for earlier. It is 14. Yep. So this is the book of Revelation chapter 13. I'm gonna skip down to verse 12. It says, "And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly one was healed." Right. Again, that same system that was set up during the time of the Roman Empire has came back. All right. That's why you have the Senate. All right. You have the Democrats and Republicans, in which during the time of the Roman Empire, it was the plebeians and the patricians. All right. And I believe the patricians were the Republicans, or they were Republicans today. And the publicans, right? The publicans are the what they deem today as the Democrats. Okay. So you have the plebeians and the patricians, which is the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And that same system again of the plebeians and the patricians are here today in that form, in the form of the Democrats and the Republicans. All right. That's why if you read Slacky, let me get it real quick. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, it's actually in the same chapter, Slacky. It's a verse up. I'm gonna start at verse 11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns, right? Two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Right? Again, Esau Edom, which represents that dragon. All right, but those two horns represent the Democrats and the Republicans. All right, again, the plebeians and the patricians. All right. And that's the reason why it says here that he spake as a dragon, right? Because again, this is the same man that has ruled, all right, since the Greeks and the Romans, all right? And he has returned back into power, okay? So reading on in verse 12, it says, "And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast," right? The first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, all right? So it's causing the people to worship the first beast, all right, whose deadly wound was healed, okay, and which again going back to the Roman system that was set up, okay, and that's why the scriptures going to the beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns, okay, but it says here it says whose deadly wound was healed, and again that deadly wound was healed by way of America being erected, all right. But what the people are really worshiping is the old pagan Roman system or pagan Roman ideology that they did back in those times, man. But now it's just a new spin to it. Okay, it's got a modern spin to what was taking place during that time. Okay, and the same oppression that was taking place during that time is still alive and well. All right, the same things that were taking place during the time of the Roman Empire concerning our people. All right, and how you had some that that kept certain of the laws and things concerning the heritage, and then you had those that left off those ways and took on the ways of Rome. Took on the ways of Esau, Edom, and make themselves into Romans and Colossians and Philippians and Corinthians. All right, and those were the Israelite foreigners. All right, but that's another topic for another video. I'm gonna jump back into verse 12. Slack you. Just want to check real quick. Still make sure I'm still good. Um, so let's see where I was reading from. Okay, so I'm continue on at verse 13. It says, "And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." All right, and they have performed that wonder of making fire coming down from heaven by way of the previous war that took place. And during that time, they had I remember one of the bombs that they have. It was the atomic bombs that they used during that time. One of them was called Big Boy, and I forgot what the other one was, but yeah, man, that wonder of making fire come down from heaven, all right, in the sight of men, America did that, all right, and it was a wonder to these people. That's why when that happened, right, when the atomic bomb was dropped, okay, the world took a step back, took a step back and said, oh, okay, oh wait, America is nothing to play with, they got an atomic bomb, they can use them whenever, and that's why I was one of the Oppenheimers. Um, I'm trying to remember the first name, but the Oppenheimer, he went on camera and said that I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. All right. So those wonders being made in the sight of men, which is that fire, which is to come down from heaven. But guess what? Now, not only America is able to do that, but now Russia, China, Iran, and so on and so forth is able to do that. And that's why, again, like I said earlier, that they really can't do anything major because it will spark this next coming war at lightning fast pace. All right, and America is trying to avoid that by all means necessary. Why? Because the higher ups of Esau Edom, which are the bankers, which are the Rothschilds, they know that this next conflict that's coming is going to be their end, and that's why they've been making certain mainstays like bunkers, underwater facilities, trying to go out in outer space. That's why they started the SpaceX program. All this, man. Why? Because they're trying to escape this next coming calamity, and it is a calamity. All right. And that's a good video. Lord's will. I'll do a video on calamity. I title it calamity. All right. Because I actually want to look up that word calamity, um, and to get the full definition of it. But to hop back on the topic, let's see, Slakia. Yeah. So that's it on that. I'm going to hop back to the article here. Make sure I'm all right. Okay, so it says here, yeah, so I was at nuclear attack. So I was in the second paragraph. It says Putin doubled down on the bellicose rhetoric Wednesday, threatening a lightning fast retaliation against any country. All right, any country intervening in the Ukraine war and creating what he called strategic threats for Russia. All right, in other words, a possible threat. All right, Russia is not playing around. All right, they said, look, any sort of intervention or anything of that nature concerning what they're doing, all right, that means that you're a threat, okay? And if they look at a certain country as a threat, then again, like I said, it's going to cause a domino effect. Other countries going to get involved, all right, and it's going to be an all-out war against the two powers, all right, the two allies, all right. All right, it says, reading on, it says he then appeared to allude to Russia's arsenal hold on. It says he then appeared to allude to Russia's arsenal of intercontinental ballistic missiles. See that? What have the men of the Lord been saying for years and years on end concerning what's been taking place? Is that the next coming war that's coming? All right, it's going to be the destruction of America, but not just that. The device is going to be used to destroy this place is going to be intercontinental ballistic missiles, like it says here. Right? It says, and nuclear weapons when he warned that Russia has the tools for a retaliatory response that no one else can boast of having now. We will use them if necessary. All right, and they will use them. All right, they haven't been doing drills and tests for nothing. All right, The reason why you do, or the reason why you perform a drill and you do tests is so you're able to use these things for what's to come. All right. And Russia's been preparing for years now. And guess what? Now they're starting to make certain advancements. Okay. It's all strategic, man. That's why Russia's been in the cut, so to speak. Just preparing, waiting. You know, and guess what? The Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai has put them in the position to do that. That's why when you read in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, it speaks about the hooks being put into their jaws and bringing them back. All right. And what are they brought back to? They brought back into that military force that could not be played with, man. All right. So, it says, but strategists told CNBC that Putin is playing on risk aversion in the West and that the chances of a nuclear war are remote. All right. And then they're saying, look, this war is going to be remote. Yeah, but guess what? No, it's not going to be remote. All right. No, it's not going to be off in some, wasteland, with nobody there. No, this is not going to be where it's going to be. All right. No, that isn't thermonuclear war that's coming. All right. It's going to involve every single piece or every single part of this land and other parts of the world too. All the world's going to get involved, and guess what? All the world's going to get touched by this next war. All right, because guess what? In the previous wars, America haven't they they haven't faced any sort of major casualties. All right, and when it comes to war, like World War I and World War II, they didn't face any sort of casualties. They didn't just have any they didn't see the same destruction as you would see in like places like Normandy. All right, I believe parts of in that region next to Berlin. All right, parts of France. Okay, but guess what? America, they still had their industries. They still had the merchandising. Still had the companies. These factories, stuff of that nature. America still had all that, and they haven't seen. It hasn't been any major deaths or deaths at the result of facing any sort of military attack. Okay, there hasn't been any sort of opposing troops that have set foot on this land. Okay, but guess what? This next coming war, all right, you're gonna have troops, all right, storming the streets, man, and they're not gonna look like your regular American, all right. No, these gonna be foreign troops, all right, and that's a part of this next destruction that's coming, man. All right, that America was gonna be completely overtaken, all right, and that's why this place is regarded as the virgin daughter. Let me see if I can get it. Reason why This is the reason why it's regarded as the virgin daughter. Okay, the reason why it's regarded as the virgin daughter is because this, again, like I said, this place hasn't faced any sort of major casualties of war. Okay, now please slack you. Okay, I believe I got it right here. Um, so it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, and this is at verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." All right, and it's talking about America. All right, because again, this place has not seen any sort of casualties. They have not faced any troops. All right, making setting foot here in this land. All right, and it says sit on the ground, and also as well, there's another scripture in Revelations, right? I'm not gonna get it, but it speaks about actually, you know what? Slacky. Let me go ahead and get it real quick. I don't want to butcher it. Um, I think I'll open another tab. Okay. Uh, yeah, this is it right here. Daniel chapter 7 and like here. Yeah, I'm starting at verse 7. All right, it's book of Daniel chapter 7 verse 7. It says, "After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth." All right, and this beast, this fourth beast that is talking about, all right, in the scripture, is talking about the Roman Empire. All right, that was the fourth beast. Okay, which was which had great iron teeth. All right, and the main thing that was used for weaponry during the time of the Roman Empire was iron. Okay, and that's why also when you go into um, the image that Daniel saw, which was the image of had the head of gold, the breasts of silver, loins of bronze, and the legs were what? They were iron. Okay, and the legs, then those legs being iron represented the Roman Empire coming into power. Okay, so this is a beast that was strong exceedingly and had great iron teeth. All right, and it says, and it devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. All right, and case in point, that's why out of all the kingdoms that came, this was more diverse. It was I don't want to say off-putting, but basically it was underneath the guys. And I'll give you an example. Um, when Alexander the Great came into power, right, and he conquered the known world, the main objective that he wanted to do, and this is well documented, the main objective that he was attempting to do, or what he was doing, was making that region or that whole known world to be Hellenized. All right, and when I say Hellenized, that word Hellen means Greek. All right. Oh, yeah, the word Hellen means Greek. So when Alexander the Greek wanted everything to be Hellenized, he wanted everything to be Greek. All right. He wanted the people to speak Greek. All right. He wanted all the customs to be Greek. He wanted people to follow the Greek customs. All right. And so likewise today, America. What's the language everybody has to speak when it comes to diplomatic conversations? English. What attire do you have to wear during those or when you're doing that? Suit and tie. All right. Uh, quote unquote the monkey suit. All right. And you have to abide by the ways of the West. Okay. Because guess what? The rest of the world, all right, is being Americanized. Okay. And you see that with their media, uh, their uh, their economy. All right. It's all the same. It's all part of the beast. All right. And it says, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before, and it had 10 horns. Right. Reading on, it says, and I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Okay. So this horn, this little horn, all right, is talking about America. All right. And this is little horn that came up, and right, and which before, right, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. All right. And yeah, I'm believing. Yeah, I'm still good. Okay, making sure. It says before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Okay, and those three horns, right? Those three horns represent the Spanish, the French, and Britain. Okay, why? Because this little horn, which is America, those three horns, all right, that was during the time when America had its own internal wars. All right, you had the Spanish-American War. All right, and what else? You had the War for Independence. Okay, and then you had the French-American War. All right, so out of this, the little horn came out victorious. All right, and now it's sprung forth into what you see today. All right, that's why it says here, if reading on, it says, "And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things." Right? Who's that? Talking about your current ruler, your president. All right. So I believe that's it on that. But but the reason why I wanted to bring that out was because this the description in the book of Isaiah 47 and 1 speaking about the virgin daughter of Babylon. Okay. And the reason why it's regarded as a virgin daughter of Babylon is because it, like I said, it hasn't been touched by any other major wars that took place, which again is World War One and World War Two. Okay. So going back to the article, right? It says yeah, read this quote. It says, "I think it's outside the realm of possibility." Here we go. It says, "I think it's outside the realm of possibility right now that there's going to be a nuclear war or World War III that really spills over that far beyond Ukraine's borders." And that's again that they're saying that, look, it's not going to reach over to us. All right. Said that's a proud statement, man. No, it is going to reach over here. All right. That's why again, you read earlier, what this paragraph, right? It says, he said he then appeared to allude to Russia's arsenal of intercontinental ballistic missiles and nuclear weapons. Okay, when he warned that Russia has the tools for a retaliatory response. Okay, so they're saying, look, we have the bomb. Okay, and that's those are the tools. Okay, the missiles. Though again, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right, in which now they're advancing that because now you have not only intercontinental ballistic missiles, now you have supersonic missiles. All right, that breaks the sound barrier. Okay, so yeah, that's it on that's all I want to get on this article. It looks like that's it. But if you want to read it, again, it's from CNBC. It says, could there be a war between Russia and the West? And the answer to that again is yes. Okay. Um, let's slide here. Yeah, this is going to their economy because this is another tactic of war of crippling another country's economy. It can be done by way of sanctions. All right, certain pieces of legislation can be put in place to cripple a people's economy. All right, but like I said, Russia they've been getting hit by sanctions, but that's not stopping them from what they're doing, man. It's not going to stop them from what their objective is, man. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this article. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a few more precepts, and then I'm gonna close it out. Um, so first, I want to grab Revelation chapter 8, verse 13. It says, "And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, and saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound." Okay, so those three woes, all right, that they represent what? World War One, World War Two, and World War Three. Okay, which again, that word woe means destruction. Okay, the first destruction came by way the first destruction of the world came by way of World War One, and again it returned as in the form of World War Two. And guess what? It's going to happen again. But this next coming woe, right? Um, Let's see, Slakia. Now, it's in another precept. I'm gonna grab it here in a minute. I'm gonna finish this off. It says, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound." I'm gonna save this real quick. I'm gonna come back to it. But there's another scripture I want to grab. Oops, Slakia. Okay. All right. So it's Revelation chapter. Revelations chapter 11, and this is at verse. Start at verse 13. It says, "In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the Most High of heaven." See that? So in the same hour, right? When it speaks about the earthquake, it's talking about the thermonuclear destruction, because it says here that the 10th part of the city fell, and in that same earthquake, right, were slain of men 7,000, right? So, and mind you, that word seven, or the number seven, Slakia, means completion. Okay, so it's going to be, when it says 7,000, that means going to be an innumerable amount of casualties and deaths that's going to come from this next destruction. All right, it says, "In the remnant were affrighted," in which the remnant represents the elect of the nation of Israel, right? The remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the Most High of heaven, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, it says the second woe is past, right? Which is World War II. Okay, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. See that? So the third woe is coming. All right, and in that third woe is gonna a part of that third woe is gonna be that earthquake. All right, that's going to be slain of men 7,000. Okay, that's going to be the result of this next coming war. Like I said, this virgin, the virgin daughter of Babylon, is no longer going to be a virgin. All right, she's going to get touched. Okay, and she's going to get touched by mainly Russia. All right, and in other countries, so-called countries. All right, other nations. Okay, and America is going to be ravished. Okay, so continuing on and get the next precept. Um, I believe that's it on Revelations 8 and 13. Yeah, that's it. Yep. So I'm going to the next one. This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, and this is at verse 8. All right. It says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord." All right. So the eyes of the Lord power, the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Shai are upon the sinful kingdom. All right. And that's why this next coming war is coming. All right. It's going to be the destruction of this place. This is what the Lord is going to use to bring in the destruction of America, which is Babylon the Great. All right. This is the device that the Lord has chosen to do that. Okay. The device that the Lord chose is those missiles. All right. Actually, slacking. Let me see if I can get it. So this is a device, should be in the book of Isaiah. Or Slack it, Jeremiah. All right, it's book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and it's at verse 11. It says, "Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes," right? And the Medes, all right, in this modern time that we live in, the Medes represents the Russians, okay? Because when you go into the Medes, the Medes resided in the North Country, all right, of the known world during that time, all right. And in the North Country, you had the Medes, all right, and in that land that was there was called Media, all right. And the ones that are residing in Media today in that region are the Russians, okay. So that's why it says here that the Lord has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, right? The spirit, what's that spirit that they've been harboring? All right, it's that warlike power, all right, that has been kept back in reserve for multitudes of years. All right. And now that spirit is being risen up once again. Okay. It says, for its device is against Babylon to destroy it. This is the purpose of this device. All right. Is to destroy Babylon the Great. All right. That is the Lord's will. That is what the Lord wants done, man. He wants this cancer to be destroyed off the face of the earth, man. Okay. This is because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, the vengeance of his temple. Okay. So I'm still good. But yeah, reading on in the book of Amos, or I believe I'm finished with the book of Amos. Yes, I am. Okay. So grab the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, and it's at verse 8. It says, therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. All right. And that's what we're waiting on, man. And this is what the answer to people, who ask a question or ask questions saying that, since we know these things and what's happening and what's taking place, what is now the action to, what's now the mode of action to do? All right. Or what should we be doing? All right. And in the times that we're in today until, what's about to take place or what we're going to be doing during that time. All right. We always get asked that question, and this the answer. It says, therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. All right. The Lord is going to be the one to rise up to the prey. He's going to be the one to defend the Israelites, which are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right. And mainly the elect of the nation of Israel. All right. It says, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. All right. So the Lord right now is assembling the kingdoms, all right, to pour upon them his indignation. Okay. And it says the earth is going to be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. Why does it say it's going to be devoured with the fire of his jealousy? Because the Lord is a jealous power. Okay. And guess what? He seeketh such as to worship him, man. All right. And if that's not being fulfilled, guess what? He's going to move certain things out of the way so that can take place, so he can be exalted in the earth. And that's why Babylon the Great is going to be utterly destroyed. Okay. And he's going to be, and the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is going to be exalted. Okay. That's why, again, like I read earlier in Isaiah, the 47th chapter, is that it says to come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, for there is no throne. All right. So I'm gonna grab this last precept. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, and this is at verse 12. It says, "Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." All right. So the Lord has awakened the heathen to come up into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which that word Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which means the Most High's judgment. Okay. And that's why it says he's going to sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right. Now reading on, it says, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, and the fast overflow, for their wickedness is great." All right. That's why, again, I read earlier that the Lord's eyes are upon the sinful kingdom. Okay. Because the wickedness of this place is great. All right. But the reason why this is deemed as the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Most High's judgment, is because this is going to be the place that the Lord has chosen to gather all the heathen to judge. Okay. And the place that the Lord has chosen is in the Middle Eastern region. All right. That's why you see that's why you see conflict that's taking place in that region. Okay. Is because now is the time for the Lord's judgment. All right. Verse 13, it says, "Put ye," a slide I read it. Verse 14, it says, multitudes in the valley of decision. Right. That's where the Lord is going to decide the fate of this current world. All right. Which we already know the playbook and we know the script. on what's going to happen. But the Lord has chosen this place where He's going to decide what's to be done. All right. And that decision is going to be what? Thermonuclear destruction. All right. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Okay. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. All right. You see that? So during that time, it's going to be complete destruction. All right. And it's going to be no, and that's why it speaks about the day of the Lord being darkness and not light. Okay. And woe to them that desire the day of the Lord. Okay. Because them that's desiring the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, who's not a part of this fold. All right. They're really asking to be put to death. All right. Because that's what the Lord is going to do to the ones that are not tuned in, or the ones that are not taking hold of the doctrine, which is given by the scriptures. All right. Okay. And the ones who are following this said doctrine, all right, are the men of great millstone, starting with the apostles, the elders of great millstone on down. Okay. And if anyone who is not in sync, if I can use that word, are not tuned in or synced within the doctrine of this fold, underneath the vibration of Yahweh Bashim Shai, guess what? They're going to be left out to fend for themselves, and that's not going to end so well. All right. But I'm gonna go ahead and end off on that note. Um, of course, like always, with every video and live stream that we do, Lord's will is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. And to next time, once again, Lord's will, I'll be doing this more frequently. Lord's will, if I'm able to. But Salakia, yesterday I wanted to stream, but I was running into some technical difficulties. So Salakia, I came back this morning with a live stream for the viewers. But I'm gonna go ahead and end off on that note. Again, Lord's will is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Till next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yoshai, Ba'ashem Hakodash, and all double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that rule well to this day. And I'm also as well Shalom, peace and safety, citations to the whole elect that's continually laboring his work, and also labor to show forth your diligence to make your calling and election sure, in faith, in truth and sincerity, and also in all charity. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.